Hi everyone, it's Sandy Holterhaus. I'm a dietitian at the Collins Aerospace Rec Center. And today I just wanted to talk to you a little about our environment and how maybe something you can do in your small corner of the world can help um, with improving our environment for the long term. So the presentation I'm giving is called Where Did Your Plastic or Styrofoam Cup Go? So this first slide shows what we call gyres. These are areas where plastics and garbage are becoming trapped in our oceans. So if you think about it, you might place your plastics into your trash or your recycling bin, and once in a while you notice that something has blown out of the bin and maybe neighbor's garbage has gotten to your yard. So some of this plastic gets onto our streets and goes into the storm sewers, gets into our streams, and then eventually finds its way to the rivers and then has an outlet into the oceans. So they've identified these 5 islands or gyres that contain a lot of trash and plastics. And it's because in these areas there is not a lot of wind and the waters can become very stagnant. So I just want to talk about one, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So if you look at this, it's very sad to see. And I recently saw a cartoon about a child requesting to go to one of these garbage patches for vacation or do a flyover of the garbage patch. But unfortunately, um, all this plastic material, it's finding its way into our oceans, and 1.15 to 2.41 million tons of plastics are expected to enter the ocean each year here. And this gyre, it actually covers an area of about 1.6 million square kilometers, or roughly, putting it into perspective, twice the size of Texas. And it can be seen from high up in the sky. Unfortunately, they can be. So what happens to the plastic? Over time, the plastic starts to break down into smaller pieces. Um, this happens due to the sun, waves, marine life, temperature changes, what we would maybe think of as erosion. And unfortunately, then the small bits of plastic are mistaken by marine life as food. So they find their way back into our food chain. And there's just this huge impact on our animals. You can see them eating the plastics, getting wrapped up into the plastics. And we know that there are chemicals in the plastics that are not, healthy or fit for life to eat. Just some more really sad pictures here. So environmental impact. About 5 to 8% of petroleum gas is actually used in the manufacture of plastic materials. And as I said, there are toxic chemicals in these plastics. So phthalates, flame retardants, bisphenol A or BPA, we know that we see that frequently in our um, water bottles. But these toxic chemicals are now found in our sea life. And over 60 varieties of marine animals that are on our threatened list have been found bound in plastics or have ingested them. So, what is the health impact? These plastics are now reaching our food supply through food, the seafood that we're eating, contaminated water that we consume, and there's many different minerals that can be dangerous to our body in these plastics, such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and those can cause toxicity in humans. The phthalates are carcinogenic, and bisphenol A can be a human hormone disruptor. So what can we do in our small little corner of the world to help reduce the use of plastics? For one, we could switch to reusable or eco-friendly, biodegradable, coffee cups or water bottles. And just know, those styrofoam cups that we buy, they contain polystyrene, which is a plastic. And paper cups that are holding coffee contain a plastic coating that is, plastic and gets into our system as well. So if we, in a small way, could just encourage people to use reusable water bottles instead of plastic bottled water. Maybe bring your own silverware when you're going to someplace that you would normally use a plastic silverware. And also, you can purchase reusable grocery bags, mesh fruit bags, and vegetable bags to help reduce the amount of plastic bags that are getting into the environment. So I appreciate you listening today, and maybe just think again what you can do in your little corner of the world to help decrease the amount of plastics that are getting into our environment. Thanks for listening.